I just made it back from Austin, Texas, where I attended the Hack Your Health conference by KetoCon. In today's video, I'm going to give you a brief recap of the entire conference, including the speakers, the different vendors, and all of the different fun things that we did at this conference. KetoCon is the largest low-carb conference in the US, this year held in Austin, Texas, at the Palmer Events Center. It was a really interesting mix of doctors, coaches, influencers, regenerative agriculturists, and so much more. There was also a very large biohacking component to this conference, so a lot of the vendors that were at the venue were related to that. It was very interesting and I learned a lot. Before we dive in, I wanted to take a moment to thank Tasty Air Fryer for sponsoring today's video. Tasty is a super high quality air fryer that has a built-in temperature probe so that you can cook whatever you're cooking to the perfect temperature every single time. They also have a window in the drawer of the air fryer and a light, so you can see if your food is cooking correctly through that window. You don't have to open up the drawer. I'm using the temperature probe every single time I cook a steak to make sure I get it to that perfect temperature. And also I'm using the temp probe when I'm cooking a pork chop. So you know pork chops, if you overcook them, they're like a hockey puck. They're hard as a rock. So with the temperature probe, I'm able to keep them juicy and perfectly cooked every single time. Tasty was a vendor here at the Hack Your Health conference, so I was able to finally meet them in person. We've been exchanging a lot of emails, and I have to say they are some of the nicest people, and they're selling a really high quality product. The Tasty is the only air fryer I use now, and it cooks like a dream. If you'd like to get $30 off of your own Tasty air fryer, head to the link in the description and use code Jenny30. That'll give you $30 off your own Tasty air fryer. Thanks again to Tasty for sponsoring today's video. Day one, Friday, May 31st, we started off our day with DEXA scans with a vendor called Spec. Let's check out some of the footage and interviews from that experience because I know a lot of you out there are interested in DEXA scans. Our very first stop at the Hack Your Health conference is at Spec so that we can get a DEXA scan. We are here with Dara. She's going to tell me a little bit about Spec. So what makes Spec DEXA scans different or special?
All right, so here at Spec, we've made it mobile. As you can see, we have this nice van behind us. Every van is quality control checked when we have our machine. So basically, we're able to make it more accessible, which can also make it more affordable for people.
What should I expect when I am sitting down for my appointment?
Awesome. So when you come in, our appointment slots are about 12 minutes. So for most people, it takes 12 minutes or less to get their scan done. You'll come in, they'll ask you a little bit of information about your name, date of birth, things like that. They'll check and make sure that if you're a woman, that you're not pregnant, things like that. You'll lay down. It takes about 12 minutes or so. We ask that you don't wear any metal or anything like that to keep it a little bit better when we have our analyzing done afterwards. Following that, what happens is after your scan, in about an hour or so, and to the end of the day, we'll have people that'll do the analyzing on the scan. They'll get it sent to you via email, and you can log into the dashboard. Now, what's really cool about our dashboard and our reports is that your information is stored basically forever. So if you scan with us 10 years ago, we still have that information, and you can compare from then. You can generate your own report, so you can compare yourself to who you want to compare it to, as well as also maybe tracking only certain scans if you've maybe changed your diet, maybe change your fitness routine.
And where are you guys located?
So right now, we're kind of spreading out as well. Most of our locations are in California, so if you're in the San Francisco area or LA, we have quite a few B&M, so our storefronts opening, as well as having vans out in that area. We have them in Seattle as well, locations in Dallas, Austin, and we are also expanding towards Houston. But keep an eye out because we are, again, expanding across the country, and you never know where a van will pop up.
That's awesome. Thank you, Dara.
Thank you.
I'm beeping. Hello.
Hey, I'm Eric. We're Body Spec. Nice to meet you. I have you first start off by removing all metals, accessories, watches, rings, as well as your shoes for me, okay?
Okie dokie.
And I'll get you pulled up in the system, go over a few things before we get started, and the scan will be roughly less than 6 minutes, okay?
Cool, sounds good. So how many of these scans do you do in a day?
So I reside with the Dallas team. So on a busy day, if I have a packed schedule, I do anywhere from 25 to 27 clients in a day.
In the mobile unit?
In the mobile unit.
That's so cool, I've never heard of
And so the mobile unit, yeah, we do about 27, but we also have a B&M. We have a brick and mortar in Dallas too. So it's about the same appointment slots, 27, and I do that in a day if it's filled as well.
Wow, and then how many are you gonna do here today?
So in total, amongst us in the 5 vans, we have over 150, I believe.
Wow.
We have a lot today.
That's a lot.
So it should be fun, it should be fun.
Okay, so how did the scan go?
Scan went great, came out great. If you want to come in and take a look of your images, you are more than welcome. One side we have tissue, this will be tissue. Other side is your skeleton. The good thing about our scan is it's an X-ray scan, so you'll be able to see your lean tissue and fat tissue. On your results, it'll color code and show you which signifies for lean tissue and which signifies for fat tissue.
Okay.
And we also do your bone density as well. This is why you see your skeleton on the left side and your tissues on the right side, because we do your lean tissue, fat tissue, and your visceral adipose tissue. It's an X-ray scan, so it's a dual energy X-ray scan.
Okay.
That stands for, it's a dual energy X-ray optometry. So it's an X-ray in the machine. There's 2 laser beams inside of the arm that shoot deep down into your tissue to help us calibrate those results.
A lot of my viewers are curious about the radiation levels that happen with a DEXA scan. What can you tell me about that?
So as far as radiation levels, it emits very low radiation to where it's not harmful at all, 0.4 microsieverts. You get more just from daily activities or taking more than a 3-hour flight, for an example of that. And you get more from just being out in the sun for 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So it emits very low radiation. I'm comfortable and safe away from it as well because I'm 3 feet away from the machine too.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So how often could I get a DEXA scan in theory?
So for the most part, I actually tell clients whatever, if it aligns with your outside goals.
Okay.
So if you exercise pretty frequently, diet pretty good consistently, I recommend coming more frequently.
Okay.
So the clients that come monthly reduce your body fat by 19% as compared to the rest. Huh. And those are the ones that normally exercise the most consistently and diet the most consistently, so they see a change in their results faster than, you know, our other people that come every 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or even yearly. So
interesting. Cool. Well, thank you so much for your help.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. After our DEXA scan, we watched the second half of the Regenerative Agriculture panel. That was really interesting. Then we did a bit more walking around and talked to some more vendors. I will never say no to a massage. So what is this awesome device that you have in your hand?
This is the Rapid Release Tech.
Okay.
It's a massage device, but it's not a percussive massage device.
Okay, cool. We have a percussive gun at home. So,
right, so you'll feel the difference. So this is actually a very high frequency orbital head movement.
Cool.
Like if I turn it on, you can see how it goes around instead of beating
so
on
it's
you.
going like this.
Yeah.
Really good. We should hit your back with this thing. This is awesome.
Isn't it great? Can I do your neck?
Yeah. It feels good. It's my brain is vibrating. So how is it different from the percussive gun?
I mean, the percussive one is just all about pounding.
Right.
This one is buzzing, vibrating. It's very different.
Okay, my name's Jennifer.
Okay, cool. And tell me about your products.
Okay, so I got all natural skincare, tallow performance, and household products. So tallow body butter, tallow deodorant, tallow lip balm. It's all natural, no seed oils in anything. They all have wild Texas persimmon, which is not in any other tallow product in the world.
Oh, cool.
And then our soap is made with Texas rainwater, olive oil, and coconut oil.
Wow.
So yeah, all packaged in glass and biodegradable packaging.
That's cool. So do you make this yourself? Do you manufacture all this?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. And how old are you?
I'm 18.
Wow. How long have you had this business?
I've been making it for about a year, and I've been my business for 5 months.
That's amazing. I love that. Great.
And our slogan is, my nickname's always been Faux, and so our slogan is, be a Mother Folk Care.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah, everything's available online at motherfolkcare.com, and our Instagram is also Mother Folk Care.
Great. Thank you. Hello.
How you doing?
I'm starving. Oh, wow.
Kielbasa. It's a classic flavor.
That is really good.
Mind if you
Hello. You're a good cook.
Yeah, they love meat.
Okay, we are here with Siobhan Huggins with Own Your Labs. You guys all know I love getting blood work done. So Siobhan, tell me a little bit about Own Your Labs. How did it get started?
Well, there's bacon going on over there.
Yes, there is.
But basically it started because Dave and I, the two co-owners, were getting a lot of blood work done. So we do a lot of self-experimentation, and we still do. And it can be kind of tricky to kind of get your doctor on board with, well, I want to do a blood test 3 times this week.
For sure.
So we ended up founding this company to kind of help that. Own Your Labs is a direct-to-consumer lab test ordering company. So you can go on the website right here, ownyourlabs.com, and you can pick out the test that you want to do, kind of like Amazon, just click, click, click all the way through. And then within 1 business day, we'll send you over a lab order form, and then you can take that to a local lab, get the testing done, and they'll send it over to your portal.
Tell us what's different about raised wild beef.
Our beef is raised all naturally, basically the way that a wild cow would. It's more towards wild animal than your general processed factory beef.
So this is how they would normally raise if humans didn't have their hands in the mix. But
Absolutely.
you guys just sort of help along.
So
That's
200
great.
years ago, this is the way cattle were raised.
Now to shift a little more to the sciencey stuff, so this really, the benefit to us consumers would be the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio, basically.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
So omega-6s are inflammatory. They create inflammation in your body. Omega-3s reduce inflammation. So if you have more omega-3s than omega-6s, then it reduces inflammation in your body. So if you buy a steak from the grocery store, high omega-6s, it's going to cause inflammation in your body.
And do you guys sort of have a target or just naturally occurring ratio?
That's the natural. So in wild salmon, the omega-3s are higher than the omega-6s. So we are more towards wild salmon than you would be towards, factory beef.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And website, should someone want to go on and order your products?
Yep, raisedwildtexas.com.
Real simple to remember. And do you guys sell by quarter, half, whole steers only, or do you do other butchering
We do
as well?
individuals. Locally, if you want to order a steak, we'll sell you a steak.
All right. And you guys ship countrywide, right?
We do.
Awesome.
Continental U.S.
Excellent. Well, great to meet you guys. Thank you so much for the information. Appreciate it,
Nice to
Perrin.
meet
Thanks
you.
a lot. Justin, got a couple questions here. It says this is the world's first ready-to-drink ketone coffee. That sounds pretty good. So, how does this compare to other? Is this like a supplement?
Yeah, so
mixed
it's
in
an
with your coffee?
exogenous ketone.
Nice.
So actually, if you kind of look over here, you'll see that our main product is this cognitive switch.
Okay.
And so what we did is we knew people love coffee. What we did is we wanted to make it as simple as possible. I normally take that product, shake it up in a shaker bottle with cold brew, and then I have that. But man, to make it easy, we just have the world's first ready-to-drink ketone coffee. Generally, these exogenous ketones tend to be a little bit bitter. Yep. So we have a ketone diester. And our formula is not bitter, and I want you to feel that. The biggest thing is going to be the taste, though, and so that's what's important here. So again, just 4 ingredients, that's all that's in this. And it should taste no bitterness.
It's very smooth.
Yeah.
No bitters at all.
You're not going to drink a coffee that tastes bad, right? We also didn't want something that was really sweet or had anything artificial in it, and this doesn't.
Not at all. No sweetness at all. Just a nice coffee flavor and get your ketones. So that's a good way to go.
We have seen people skyrocket their level of ketones with just a full serving. So works really well. I hope you enjoyed it, Gordon.
It's really good. Thank you so much.
It just tastes like coffee. That's good. I like it. After checking out a bunch more booths, I was able to watch Courtney Luna cook a brand new recipe from her upcoming cookbook. Okay, I'm here with Courtney Luna. You just did a cooking demo. What did you cook?
I did. I made biscuits and gravy, which is a brand new recipe for my upcoming cookbook. I haven't even shared this recipe on social media yet, so it was fun to debut it with the audience here, and I think it was a hit.
That's awesome. So wait, is it keto or carnivore biscuits and gravy?
It's carnivore, so the biscuits are carnivore, gravy, yes, everything is made with animals and animal products.
Hey, you have a cookbook coming out, don't you?
I do.
When is that?
So it is available for pre-sale right now. The name of it is Carnivore in the Kitchen, and it publishes on October 1st, but you can grab it right now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, Walmart, Target, and some indie bookstores.
Courtney is amazing, and her new carnivore cookbook is going to be an instant hit. If you'd like to pre-order a copy, I'll put a link to it in the description below. One of my favorite panels from day one was Triumphs and Troubleshooting the Carnivore Diet. This panel included Dr. Sean Baker, Judy Cho, Dr. Ovadia, the carnivore doctor, Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, Danny Conway, and it was moderated by Lauren Knight Hughes. It was basically a Q&A session where people could come up to the microphone and ask their questions and get them answered. And let me tell you, the questions that were asked were really good. There was some gallbladder questions. There were some fatigue questions. There was one about, bowel movements, which is, an important thing on the carnivore diet. So I got a lot out of that panel. Moving on to day 2, Saturday, June 1st, the first lecture we attended was called The Forgotten Thyroid Hormone T2, Burn Fat While Watching Netflix with Dr. Amy Horniman. That one was really interesting. I was able to connect with Dr. Horniman after her speech, and I'm hoping to do a collaboration with her because I know a lot of you out there are really interested in thyroid-related issues, and that is actually one thing that I haven't really done the full thyroid panel, so I thought it would be cool to work with her and run some of my numbers and see if I have anything going on. So that was a really enlightening speech. Then we headed out to talk to a few more vendors. I was really interested in talking to Jasper. It's a commercial grade air filter, and the CEO of the company did a lecture the day before, and he was really good. It kind of opened my eyes to a few things, like, okay, we take care of our water, we take care of our food, but what about our air? That's something that we breathe every minute of every single day. So we headed over next to the Jasper booth to learn a little bit more.
All right, we're here with Justin today from Jasper, and we just wanted to find out about the home unit that we were just chatting about here, and particularly what the maintenance is, what's the filter situation, how do you replace it, etc.
Yeah, so it's basically, we made it very streamlined, very simple. So every 6 months, a new filter will come to you. So most people are on the filter subscription. It gives you a lifetime warranty on the product and cheaper filters as well. So all you do is when you get the new one, you basically turn this over, you open up the bottom, there's a bottom cap, you take the old filter out, the new one goes inside, close the cap, turn it over. It literally takes 30 seconds and you're done. And that's it. So there's no other maintenance, there's no washing, vacuuming, you don't have to clean inside. Just change the filter, it'll handle your air, everything you need to do.
Sounds really straightforward. What is the filtration technology?
So it's straight up HEPA is the main one. So we prefer a simple design. So we don't use any kind of ionization, any kind of ozone. There's no Wi-Fi,
UV
no Bluetooth, no
stuff.
UV, low EMF. It's really just, we wanted the superstar of this thing to be the HEPA, and that's how it works. So most purifiers on the market, the filter is maybe half a pound. This one is 4 pounds. That HEPA filter is going to capture pollen, dust, mold spores, smoke, pet dander, insect fragments, anything of that sort. If you put this inside of a bedroom setting, you would reduce the amount of airborne particulates by about 95%. And so that means you have that much less volume of garbage to deal with while you're sleeping, while you're recovering. You wake up better, your body's able to go, start the day strong. That's really the whole purpose of these things here.
After that, we were able to preview the very first episode of Food Lie's new documentary series with Brian Sanders. I follow him on Instagram. He has awesome content. And then we sat in on Dr. Baz's presentation on uric acid and its role in weight loss stalls. JJ Virgin had an excellent presentation on ways to age powerfully. And then Sean Wells did an excellent presentation on the use of psychedelics in therapy and how they can be used to help treat PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and mental health issues. I've studied this topic a little bit. Tim Ferriss is really big into this, and I know that there's a lot of efficacy to using these psychedelics in a therapeutic environment. So that was a really interesting lecture for me. I was able to talk to Sean after his presentation. He has a special energy drink. It does not utilize caffeine, and that's a big thing for me and for him as well. We were talking about it. Caffeine gives both of us anxiety. I actually don't do any caffeine. So I was really interested to hear more about his energy drink and what makes it so special. All right, I'm here with Sean Wells, and we are talking about this product. Can you give me a little bit of detail about what this is?
So it features my ingredient that I brought into the world with my team in Genius Ingredients, and it is called Infinity. That's the branded name. The technical name is paraxanthine. It's a metabolite of caffeine. So when you consume caffeine, it can be converted into one of three ingredients: theophylline, theobromine, or paraxanthine. The problem is how fast it is metabolized into paraxanthine. So instead of calling paraxanthine the metabolite of caffeine, I like to think about it as caffeine is the dirty precursor to paraxanthine. Paraxanthine is the thing that is truly the active, that has all the benefits. Whereas we're seeing with caffeine, it has all of the side effects. The anxiety, the disruption in sleep, and the brain fog, heart arrhythmias and palpitations. Like, you don't get that with paraxanthine. It's a very clean experience. And when we look at the data, now we're 9 studies in, we're seeing increased glutathione catalase, decreased beta amyloid plaque, increased dopamine, increased nitric oxide, increased neuroplasticity, decreased mental errors, improved focus.
See, I don't do caffeine. I haven't done caffeine for years because of the anxiety issues. So this would be an option for me and for all of you out there that don't do caffeine. The final lecture that we sat in for Saturday was from Chris Gethin. He is a natural bodybuilder, and his topic was how to reduce your biological age as an athlete. I've been following Chris for some time on Instagram. He's actually the influencer that turned me on to NutriSense, the continuous glucose monitoring app that I use. He is quite the biohacker, so that was a really interesting talk. Finally, we get to day 3, Sunday, June 2nd. The very first opening lecture of the day was from Dr. Eric Berg. He talked about prolonged fasting and who it's good for and who shouldn't do it. We were then able to take some time to talk to some of the vendors that we weren't able to talk to yet. One of my favorites was Brain Tap. Goran and I are always looking for ways to lower our stress levels, and we've always wanted to meditate, but we find it really difficult. And Brain Tap makes it a little bit easier. I'm gonna get my brain tapped.
You're gonna have your brain tapped. We're gonna do brain fitness. So there's the light, and then there will be light on the visor, and you're gonna close your eyes. I'm gonna tilt you back, and you're gonna go in the zone for 15 minutes.
Okay, good.
15 minutes later.
Wow, that was actually really cool. It's like a combination of light, just very subtle light with the eyes here, and then it was like a guided meditation.
This has been a game changer to the point where it's getting clarity, it's getting motivated. There's literally 2,000 meditations in the app. This is working on the subconscious level.
Interesting.
So don't worry that you can't listen.
Yeah.
And then they were like, just put on music. Listen to the neuro beats.
Yeah.
So that's what's coming in effect is the neuro beats. So there's so many different components, from health to women with hormone issues, motivated, business, conscious business.
That's so great. So I am here with Marco to talk about Knick Knack. This is a nicotine product. I've heard a lot about this on like the Huberman podcast and a few different things of different ways you can like biohack or level up with nicotine. So tell me a little bit more about it.
Nicotine's become super popular in the biohacking crowd.
Yeah.
It's used as more of a nootropic.
Okay.
Nicotine's a very interesting chemical, and depending on the rate at which you ingest it, it can bias either more towards kind of a dopaminergic response, or if it's a more slow release, sustained, long-term kind of drip, which is what we designed this product for, it's going to be more of like a cholinergic acetylcholine response, which is what kind of gets you in that flow state.
Yeah.
Provides a lot of focus. Some of the research suggests it can even improve long, short-term memory.
So how is this different from just like a nicotine pouch you'd get at a gas station?
So our beef with a lot of those pouches is that they still contain artificial flavors, sweeteners, pH adjusters, fillers. So we did away with pretty much all of that. We did do away with all of that, and we replaced it all with natural ingredients. So
how long do the effects last once it's dissolved? Is that different for every person?
Right, yeah. It's about 45 minutes to maybe max 2 hours for some people.
Final question, we have to ask about like the addictive potential of nicotine. How do you counteract that, you know?
If you use it the way we intended, which is just to kind of leave it alone, let it dissolve, and you're getting that slow nicotine drip the whole duration as it's dissolving versus just right up front.
Yeah.
The goal of this is not to make an addictive product for people to.
For sure, yeah. This is to level up. Taking the plunge on this earthing mat, it looks really, really interesting. There's heat, there's vibrations, and there are stones, crystals. Very interesting. I will let you know how it goes here in a minute. Alyssa, can you tell me a little bit more about this amazing mat?
Hi, Jenny. Yes, I'm the Chief Science Officer and co-founder of Align Mat, and I developed the technology in the mat to be a multifaceted therapeutic tool to help shift the nervous system from a state of stress to rest and digest in minutes.
We were both on the purple mats. Can you tell me a little bit more about what this mat is composed of?
So the Zen is our flagship product. It's composed of 30 pounds of globally sourced crystals that are aligning with the energy centers in the body.
Everything is EMF shielded, including the infrared heat, which is in a bioresonant range. So this is all, again, designed to shift the nervous system so you're feeling yummy, relaxed, and recharged. There are 8 cores of pulsed electromagnetic field therapy in the mat, so PEMF, and it sends out pulses into the body that your body then, as basically a giant charging system, directs to where it needs to go to help you feel your best, recover faster, and be again in alignment with our natural state. 20 minutes if you have the time. Morning and evening would be a great way to start your day and a great way to calm down and end your day without compensating with any sort of stimulants or depressants.
The final lecture we were able to attend was the Feasting and Fasting panel. This one was hosted by Steak and Butter gal Bella Ma and featured Dr. Sean Baker, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Dr. Robert Kiltz, Emily Harvo, and Raymond Nazon. This was another great Q&A session, and the audience members asked really great questions. Unfortunately, we had to leave right after that panel so we could hop on a plane to come home and see our beautiful babies, but there were 2 more lectures that I really wish I could have sat in on. The first was a biohacking panel with Chris Gethin, Ben Greenfield, Sean Wells, Luke Story, Daniel Solomon, and Josh Trent. I think that would have been a really great panel. And then the final lecture of the day was from Dr. Sean Baker, and it was talking about the evidence for a meat-based diet. That would have been awesome as well, but unfortunately we had to catch our flight. I hope you enjoyed this recap. If you'd like to see a behind-the-scenes vlog of our Austin trip, including where we went to Terry Black's Barbecue and I ate a $55 beef rib. This thing was huge. I could have beat somebody with it. If you'd like to see that vlog, I'm gonna put a link to my second channel right here. There was a lot of variety at this conference and I learned a ton. I highly recommend you head to the Hack Your Health Conference 2025. I think it might be in a different location next year, and as soon as I get more information about it, I'll start posting about it on my Instagram and here on YouTube. And I will definitely get a coupon code so that you can get some savings on your tickets. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.